This isn't clickbait. The iPad utterly ruined my trip to Chamonix. And for a device that Apple claims to be the best tool for content creators, it's very telling that I always have to use my laptop to finish the job. Not acceptable marketing, Apple, not acceptable. For those of you who are new to this channel, I'm Bellemare-Alford, a young photographer and filmmaker on a journey to become better at this art. I just came back from a gorgeous ski trip in Chamonix, France, where I filmed a long-term review of my Sony a7 IV. I highly suggest you go check that one out. Things started going horribly wrong right on the first day. And I'm not sure what happened exactly with the iPad, but it completely corrupted my memory card, so all of that footage is currently lost. After a full day of skiing and filming and back at the college with the iPad in my hand, I decided it's time to review the footage. So I plug in my memory card and realized it would actually be a good idea to do a backup first. So I open the File apps and I select the Move option inside of it. The app crashes a few seconds later, and I'm not too sure what happened at this point, so I decided to reopen the app and realize right away that I cannot read my memory card anymore. I start panicking because I know that this means it's being corrupted. After a quick online search, I'm devastated to learn that this has been happening for the last few years, and Apple decided to not repair this because exFAT is not their format, and that means that they shouldn't be fully supporting it. But exFAT is probably the only format that most camera companies support in the cameras, and is super common for all types of content creating devices. I ended up having to pay over $300 on recovery software and couldn't even recover all the videos. So a few days later, and after passing dozens of hours trying to recover the footage, I had to refilm everything. Another issue with the Pro iPad apps is that they're never as good as their desktop counterparts. For example, some Pro features inside of Lightroom, like the ability to copy some settings to multiple files or merge some panoramas, are simply non-existent inside of the iPad app. I was so exhausted of having to apply the settings manually to every single picture that I actually downloaded Lightroom on my sister's computer instead and got the job done within a few seconds. I also had the same frustrating experience trying to edit some videos on the iPad. It would reliably disconnect from my hard drive right here and would even corrupt some files, which is super frustrating. Also, most of the current apps don't allow me to create a full video from start to finish using only the iPad. Don't get me wrong, it's actually very impressive that DaVinci Resolve works on the iPad, especially it works on this old iPad Air. After all, this is not so surprising because some of the new iPads have the same specs as some of the MacBooks. But not being able to run these tasks reliably means that the laptop replacement claims from Apple are truly deceiving. This brings me to the controversial advice my friend has. Take it away, Trevor.
Tell me, Apple, why you gotta be so expensive? There's no reason for it.
I hate to admit it, but Trevor's right. Apple's answer to most of our problems would probably be to buy the fully spec'd out iPad Pro 13 inches. Are you ready for the prices? At $1,100, you get 128 gigs of storage. Let's be honest, 128 gigs of storage is not enough for most people and is unusable for a content creator. If you want the 2TB version, it's $2,200. What the heck, Apple? You can get 2 MacBook Air at that price or 1 MacBook Pro, and all of these laptops are going to run your software super reliably. It's also going to allow you to run any software you need for your creative journey. What the heck? Let's be honest, if Apple didn't keep promoting the iPad as the best device for creators, I wouldn't have been as mad that it ruined my trip to Chamonix. I really wanted to use the iPad as my only device for 7 days, but it created so many nightmares that I actually dusted off my MacBook Pro 2016 and got it repaired for my upcoming trip to Iceland because I simply cannot trust anymore the iPad for my creative tasks, and this really does suck. I want to be very clear here. The iPad is probably one of the best looking devices out there, and it's also probably one of the best tablets on the market. But if Apple wants to be able to call this the best device for creative, they really have to take productivity seriously and make sure that it works super reliably. And we're still a long way from there. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by hitting the like button below, and definitely go check out my video on the Sony a7 IV that I filmed in Chamonix, and subscribe for new content on photography and filmmaking. See you in the next one.